This episode is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, the #1 seller of games and gaming accessories. And GatheringMagic.com, the #1 resource for Magic the Gathering news and articles.
Hi, my name is Chad, and this is my Ghave Guru Spores Commander deck. So this is my Ghave Guru Spores deck, and the whole theme of the deck is making tokens and adding +1/+1 counters. So everything pretty much is themed based around that. So Ghave, of course, is amazing at doing this, especially the making tokens part. He doesn't tap when he activates his abilities, so you can use him right away and multiple times, combat tricks, it just gets crazy. So I have 3 forests, 11 plains, 7 swamps, and then for non-basics, Bojuka Bog. There's always some graveyard shenanigans going on in opponent's decks, so it's always good to be able to remove those. Command Tower, of course, Dryad Arbor, Gavony Township, awesome at adding +1/+1 counters. Lands, Golgari Rot Farm, Graypelt Refuge. Khalni Garden makes plant tokens. Oran-Rief adds counters to all your creatures that come into play. Orzhov Basilica, Overgrown Tomb, Razorverge Thicket, Savannah, Selesnya Sanctuary, Sunpetal Grove, Vault of the Archangel. When you have lots and lots of creatures, Death Touch and Lifelink are always very, very good. V2 Ghazi makes Saplings, Vivid Grove and Vivid Marsh, Woodland Cemetery. And now we get into the creatures. Again, most of these will make tokens or have something to do with tokens or some way to deal with +1/+1 counters. So Doom Traveler makes spirits. Machias deals with counters. Bloom Tenor is a mana ramp. Very, very good mana ramp. Primordial Hydra, definitely lots and lots of +1/+1 counters. Renegade Krasis, Evolve can get pretty crazy in this deck, although I haven't had much experience with this particular creature yet, so we'll see how he works out. Spawn Writhe is just an amazing token generator. Bloodline Keeper, the deck was pretty weak to flyers, so I thought that it was important to do some flying token generation. Corpsejack Menace, of course, for doubling +1/+1 counters. Hero Bladehold makes soldiers. Sublime Archangel, when you've got lots and lots of tokens, nothing better than getting one of them through that's gigantic. Geist-Honored Monk makes spirits and is a pretty decent creature in her own right. Juniper Ranger, the interaction with her and Ghave can get pretty insane, not to mention all the other token generation out there. Michaeloth, +1/+1 counters and token generator. Grave Titan, of course, for zombies. Sun Titan is pretty good recursion. Wurmcoil Engine, just excellent, and then the tokens are definitely a benefit. Giant Adaphage, or Spawn Writhe Plus, or however you want to call it, but always making lots of tokens with him. Intangible Virtue to beef up all the tokens. Necrogenesis, more graveyard hate and token generation to boot. Some digging with Sylvan Library. Awakening Zone, tokens and mana ramp. Oblivion Ring for removal. Grave Pack, when you've got lots of tokens to sack to Ghave, this is amazing against your opponents. Ooze Flux, especially once you get going with some of the other stuff that adds counters like Evolve or something like that, Ooze Flux can become an infinite engine. Parallel Lives to double the tokens that are being generated. Cathars Crusade, this is probably my favorite interaction in the entire deck, Ghave and Cathars Crusade, because you take the counter off of Ghave, you put a sapling into play, and this puts the counter right back onto Ghave. Doubling Season, of course, for token and counter doubling. Mirar's Wake is the most recent addition to the deck, and +1 to lots of creatures, and mana doubling is amazing. All the planeswalkers deal with tokens or counters in some way. Ajani does both. He makes giant tokens and adds +1/+1 counters. Garruk Relentless makes wolves. Garruk Wildspeaker is mana ramp and creature token maker and overrun effect. Sorin makes tokens and boosts your tokens with his emblems. Elspeth, of course, makes tokens and then destroys everything that isn't a token, so that's always good. Vraska makes tokens and as added benefit, they can win you the game, so that's always good. Some removal, Swords to Plowshares, Beast Within, Harrow for some mana ramp. Midnight Haunting, make tokens. Ready and Willing, again with the lifelink and Death Touch to all your creatures, so that's always good with lots of creatures. Advent of the Worm for some instant tokens. Demonic Tutor, Entreat the Angels is pretty amazing in this deck. Always fun to cast. Lots and lots of enchantments, so ideally Tutor is perfect for this deck. Lingering Souls, make some tokens, then Flashback to make some more. With all these tokens around, Primal Growth, you can always hit the kicker and you can bring in 2 lands, you don't have to tap them. You'd think with lots of creatures that mass removal would be a bad thing, but this deck has a way of recurring very fast, so I find that the mass removal doesn't set me back, so I've got a couple in here. Day of Judgment. One of the Unhallowed, of course, makes more tokens. Siphon Mind for some card draw. Increasing Devotion, especially if you can flash it back out of the graveyard. It's insane. Overwhelming Stampede, of course, so you can get everything through for some massive damage. Parallel Evolution doubles every token on the board, so that's got to be in there. Some more mass removal, Chroma's Vengeance. This one does hurt with the enchantment removal, but it's still worth it for most of the time. Terminus, again, mass removal. Army of the Damned for mass tokens. Skull Clamp for some card draw. Soul Ring for some mana ramp. Another Mana Rock, Golgari Signet. Lightning Greaves to protect the general, although you do have to be careful because it gives him Shroud, so he can't put counters back on himself. And then finally, Eldrazi Monument to boost up all my creatures on the board and make them indestructible. Thanks for watching CMDR decks. Please subscribe and favorite.